welcome to this week's edition of Tomahawk TV News. This is Morgan Dyer with this week's news. We will have our first edition of Weekly Scoop, where I will have a sit-down interview with Dr. Lewis. We will also have another look into the future with some interviews of graduating seniors, and a peek into Miss Sewell's Russian Week. Cole Jackson will be giving us sports updates, and William Yates will be telling us about the weather.
Tomahawk TV News, Montague County's only newscast, coming at you from Nokona High School.
As we enter the last few months of the school year, the principals have been very focused on the school rules. I sat down with Dr. Lewis to ask him a few questions about the problems they are facing. With the school year almost halfway over, what has made the dress code such a big issue?
Well, you know, the school year is more than halfway over. The dress code is always a big issue because we want to make sure that we take care of the little things so we can accomplish the big things, which is obviously learning and achievement. So
with the yoga pants, that's been a pretty big topic of conversation around the school building. Can you just explain why that's a big problem?
Yoga pants. Well, you know, they don't have pockets. So if they don't have pockets, they're not pants.
Okay.
Yeah. And
outside food and drink are also outlawed inside the school building.
Outlawed? Whoa, that's a strong word.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
It's a strong word. Outlawed, yeah. Well, you know, one thing that that I would like to express at this time, you know, we haven't changed or adopted any new rules. These rules were in place when our administration took over here at Nokona High, so we really haven't added any rules or changed any rules. All we're doing is enforcing the rules that already were in place, because our school board, our school board is made up of elected community members, and they're elected by the community. So the community, the values of the community are put in place by those policies. And we want our school to be a reflection of our community values. So when we have rules and we have guidelines such as dress code or food and outside drink, those are a reflection of our community values. And we don't want those things to become a distraction from what we're here to do. And I think we all want a school climate that is conducive to success, and walking up and down the hallways with hamburgers and french fries and things like that. That's great at lunch, but it's not great when we're trying to have class and academics. And the two can become confused, and it can be a distraction. So we just want to eliminate. We certainly don't want our students to go hungry or to not have appropriate hydration, but we do want them to focus on academics and achievement during our instructional time. So that's some of the rationale behind having some rules and policies and guidelines and structure.
Boys have been taken out of classes before to go shave. What is the big issue with facial hair?
Well, no, the biggest issue there is no one should be allowed to have a better beard than the principal. So that's the primary reason for that rule. No, seriously, again, it's the same. It's really just more of the same rhetoric in that the school board sets the policies. It's a reflection of the community values, and the community does not want their high school boys with beards and mustaches and things like that, except for special permission when we allow some of our young men to do that with one-act play. We've yet to have any of the young women in one-act play request to grow a beard, so we're pretty good. We're happy about that. We got that going for us.
Is pulling kids out of class to go shave worth interrupting the educational time?
We generally don't do that on a consistent basis, but I would definitely concur with you that we don't want to lose instructional time on that. That's why it's better if the students comply with it before they get to school, right? Then we don't have a problem.
Do you believe that detention will stop students from breaking the dress code?
Absolutely. We think detention is it's our go-to form of discipline in the school, and we believe in it. In that we feel it's a good way to help. It doesn't, detention being after school doesn't interfere with instructional time. In-school suspension is something that we try to use infrequently. We don't like for our kids to be in school suspension because, again, they're away from their classrooms and away from their instructor, their primary instructor. So we would rather use after-school detention as a form of discipline, as a first line of defense against violations.
One last question before we go. Around the school, you're known as School Daddy. Do you prefer to be called that?
Actually, I do not prefer to be called that, but it's a term of endearment that I can deal with. I think I'm the one that coined it on myself, for crying out loud. So one thing that I do take my job serious, and I do feel like not only legally in loco parentis is a term that is given to school administrators who are in charge of a campus, in charge of students who attend their schools during the school day. So legally I do have the responsibility of a parent, a guardian in the school day. So in a legal sense I am the school daddy, but I do take my job very seriously in that I want for kids to be safe here. I want for them to have the opportunities to accomplish and achieve their dreams, because it's very important. You know, public school is a real special thing because not everyone in the world enjoys having access to public schooling. In our country, everyone has an opportunity to attend a public school, and that's a great thing. That every day when our students walk past the flagpole and the American flag on the pole, and the Texas flag as well, but every day they walk past the flagpole into the front doors, so to speak, and I know we have at least 2 front doors here, but they walk in those doors with a chance. They walk in those doors with a chance to achieve their dreams and a chance at a better life, regardless of their income, regardless of their religious affiliation, regardless of their race or ethnicity. They have a chance at a better life and the life they desire and the life they dream of. And it's our job as educators to help them achieve those things, even if it means doing things that they don't necessarily want to do, like not have the food and outside drink, or not wear yoga pants, or do those things. If it's in the interest of community values, in the interest of their success, I'm perfectly comfortable being the school daddy and making kiddos do what they don't necessarily want to do in the moment so that they can achieve what they've been dreaming of doing their entire lives.
I want to thank Dr. Loylis for making the time to sit down to discuss the rules. We are going to end this newscast with a very special, never-before-seen clip of Dr. Loylis promoting Tomahawk TV News. Next up is a continued look at graduation 2015. What does the future hold? With graduation coming up, how do you feel about it?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, fair enough.
I feel excited, but I'm scared at the same time because I feel like I'm so ready to leave, but at the same time I wish I could stay with my family.
I'm really excited to graduate, you know? It's going to be an exciting time.
Well, I'm ready to graduate. I think it's going to be a great time after school.
I feel excited. I think I'm ready for it.
I'm a little excited, but a little scared about it. I mean, it's a big step. You're going into the real world, so.
I'm excited. I'm ready to get out of here.
What is your favorite high school memory?
My favorite high school memory is one-act play the last 2 years of high school.
Playing volleyball with my sister.
Okay.
Getting to eat lunch like off campus and going to see my family every single day, and anything that has to do with like one-act play. You just build really good relationships in high school, and you'll never forget the people you make friends with.
Getting to learn all the English that comes with American school.
Probably when I brought my baby pig to school. That was really funny.
Did you get in trouble for that?
No, because I had to feed it every 2 hours, and if I didn't, it would have died, and the school understood completely.
Okay.
Getting to know everybody, I think that was my biggest memory since I'm new here.
Probably junior prom with all my friends. Miss them a lot. Half of them are already gone and haven't graduated.
Meeting my 2 best friends. It's the only thing that really.
Okay. And what do you plan on doing after graduation?
I'm going to go be a biomechanical engineer.
Where are you planning on going?
Tarleton.
I'm going to college at McMurray.
What do you plan on majoring in?
Religion.
Going to A&M.
And what's your intended major?
Education.
I'm going to American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York City.
I plan on going to Wichita to be a firefighter.
Oh.
I plan on going to NCTC and getting automotive training.
First, I'm going to go to NCTC, get my basics, and hopefully go to Lubbock for interior design.
I plan on going to the AI Institute for Gaming and Design.
Oh, so you want to make video games? What will you miss most about high school?
Probably going to be my friends, because I know after high school I'm not going to be able to see them very often or communicate with them. And I know I'm probably going to lose a lot of friends that I've had.
The friends I made.
High school?
I'll probably miss, like, getting to be carefree. Like, you don't have a whole lot of responsibilities like you think you do with homework and stuff, but you don't have to worry about bills or, like, if you're going to eat dinner that night, like, you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. So I guess just being carefree is what I'll miss most about being in high school.
Probably getting to learn all the English that comes with American school.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
Friends and getting to come up here and watch Friday night football games and everything else.
Probably the friends, not really the classes, except for Miss Crabtree's class, of course. But other than that, nothing.
School.
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
Nope.
Coming up next, Ariana Garcia talks with an English teacher about the interesting and educational topic of Russian literature.
Hello everyone, this is Ariana Garcia with Tomahawk TV News with Miss Sewell today to talk about Russian Week. So what is actually Russian Week?
Okay, Russian Week is actually this week that we created because we're studying cultural text. So we're studying a story by Fyodor Dostoevsky, who is one of the greatest Russian writers and philosophers, called White Nights.
Okay, so what came you to the conclusion to teach this?
Well, I did a paper in college over White Nights, and a lot of movies have been made into it, so we're trying to kind of make it relevant to students. But basically, it's just a great story with a lot of depth, a lot of deep thinking, and a lot to analyze.
So how does this relate to English?
All right, so with analysis, we have to cover our bases with the TEKS and what Texas requires. So we're analyzing literature, and we're analyzing cultural, historical, and biographical avenues of looking at a text. So we're just looking at this text in Russia, analyzing it, trying to learn all we can about Russia so that we can understand it.
Oh, okay. And what do you hope the students learn from this?
Well, I hope that they come out of this with a bigger worldview, because most of us in North Texas don't know much about Russia. So I hope they come out of it with a bigger worldview. Next week we're actually doing India, so I'm hoping that it can span across, but also to be able to read a text deeply, to be able to read a story and have it mean something to them.
Okay, and do you know how to speak Russian?
Mine, I think that's German, or no. But I can do their accent.
Alrighty, thank you, Miss Sewell.
Thank you, Ariana. That Miss Sewell is quite the character.
Hello, this is Cole Jackson, and welcome to this week's edition of Tomahawk Sports. In local sports news this week, Once again, due to the weather, the baseball and softball games had to be moved. So last Monday, the boys and girls softball teams played Jacksboro. Softball and baseball both got a district win. Both teams also played last Tuesday against Cityview. The baseball team was victorious, but sadly the softball team did not come out with the win. This Tuesday, only the baseball team will play Bowie, as the girls' season has come to an end. Then Friday, baseball plays its last game against Holiday. Last week, we also got to talk to some of our area track qualifiers who participated to try and go on to region last Thursday. We asked them about how long they had been participating in track.
This is my 3rd year in varsity.
This is my 3rd year on varsity.
This is my 4th year on varsity.
This will be my 3rd year in track.
3 on varsity.
All of them qualified in interesting events. Here's what these qualifiers qualified in.
I made it in pole vault.
We qualified in the mile relay.
I made it in the 2 mile and the mile.
The mile relay.
The 1 mile race.
If you're wondering if those events are hard, here's what they had to say about it.
No, I mean, it takes practice, like a lot of practice, and you have to get your timing right too. So it's not that hard, you just got to learn how to do it.
Yeah, because it's a long sprint.
I don't think they're that difficult just because I'm used to long distance and mid distance, so kind of used to it.
It would be more difficult if we haven't had trained for the event.
Not if you've trained for distance that's all I've ever done is distance, so I know how to pace myself better than most.
We also wanted to know how many times they had gotten to the area competition.
This is my 2nd year. My 1st year was last year, and then this is my 2nd one.
This is my 1st time.
This is my 1st year.
This will be my 3rd year in advancing in track.
This will be my 3rd.
And in any sports, confidence is key. And this is what our qualifiers had to say about their confidence going into last Thursday.
Yes, compared to what Coach has told me, I'm pretty confident, not that nervous about it, but it's whatever, it happens.
I feel confident because we practiced a lot since our last meet.
Yes, I'm pretty confident. I've been training a lot, and I'm just hoping that I can advance from where I'm at.
Yes, if each of the legs run their fastest times, then we have a good chance of going to regionals.
I'm pretty confident. I'm going to have to grab that 1st place kid and go, but I think I can do it.
Congratulations to all qualifiers. We'll have more on area next week, especially with regionals coming up. In national sports news this week, Oklahoma City Thunder fired their head coach Scott Brooks after 7 seasons with the team. The team failed to make the playoffs this year after being injury-bitten, with star Kevin Durant having foot problems all year. With Brooks now gone, the Thunder are looking to make a splash when hiring a new coach. In other basketball news, the newly acquired point guard of the Dallas Mavericks, Rajon Rondo, has been ruled out indefinitely for the rest of the Mavericks playoff games with a back injury. Rondo, who has had problems with head coach Rick Carlisle this year, hasn't played up to expectations. Rondo will hit free agency this summer, and when asked if he thought Rondo would ever play another game for the Mavericks, he replied, "No, I don't." Newly signed Dallas Cowboy Greg Hardy was suspended by the NFL last Thursday 10 games for assaulting his former girlfriend, which is against the NFL's personal conduct policy. Hardy, however, will appeal the suspension later. This Thursday, April 30th, is the NFL Draft. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the 1st overall pick, and many speculate they will select quarterback Jameis Winston, the former Heisman Trophy winner from Florida State. The NHL and NBA playoffs are still in the first rounds of play and are producing exciting things right now in the world of sports. That's it for this week / a little bit of last week's in sports. Be sure to stay tuned for more sports coverage in the coming future. I'm Cole Jackson, signing off for this week's Tomahawk Sports.
Hello everyone, this is William H. with your statewide forecast. Here's what to expect for today. We will have some showers early here in Central and East Texas. Then later on during the day, thunderstorms will come into the picture. All hazards will be on the board as they come into the pictures with damaging winds, large hail, and a few tornadoes. Now let's talk about storm chances and threats. The main threats are held up to baseball size, winds in excess of 80 miles per hour, and a possible outbreak. With any storms that do develop in North Texas, has the possibility to rotate, but the best chance will be here in this shade of purple on the map. Now let's talk about storm chances for the day. The blue shaded area has a 30 to 40% chance. The green has a 50 to 60% chance, and the purple has a 70 to 80% chance. And then after today, Texas then becomes calm with no rain until maybe next week on Monday, which I will talk about in the next weather update. Now here is your 7-day local forecast for Nokona, Texas. Today we will be in the lower 70s for the high with a low of 53 degrees, and there is a 70% chance of severe thunderstorms with all hazards included, which are very large hail, damaging winds, and a few tornadoes around the area. Tomorrow the highs will be in the upper 60s and the lows will be 50 degrees, and there is a 50% chance for showers very early in the morning. Then we begin to warm up and dry out for the rest of the week, with highs in the upper 70s and lower 80s, with lows in the 50s and lower 60s. Now that's your weather. See you next time.
Thank you for watching this week's edition of Tomahawk TV News. I hope to see you again next week.
Tomahawk TV News, Montague County's only newscast, coming at you from Nokona High.
That was the best one yet.